Hey guys, it is currently 5:04 in the morning on the 7th day of CampNaNo prep, and on day 6 I didn't do a ton, but guess what I did find? Do you remember how I told you that 100% in high school I wrote the zombie names on the back cardboard cover of a notebook? I was not wrong. That's what this very light pencil that you can see is. It's much darker pencil on my end, but from what I'm looking at here, you probably can't read it. But initially, there were 6 different types of zombies, and there were also animals. But I think that in this world, animals aren't going to become zombified, but they can still spread the infection to humans. It just affects animals differently. Because I still want to use the case that's in the original book, because in the original book, the group that's in the hospital, a man comes in with his arm just completely ripped open from a sheep bite, which comes off as a little unusual, of course, because it kind of looks like a shark got him, but it's a sheep. But it's, yeah, they're called sheep. But in that book, there's zombie animals, but for the purposes of a different book that will eventually be in the series, assuming that the one with Spencer here goes well, the animals aren't going to become zombified. They can have the virus, they can spread it to humans, but it affects the animals differently. That's about all I've got. But we'll figure out the logistics of that and do the research on that sort of thing. I think I'm going to look into the plague, oddly enough, not because the virus mimics the plague, but because it was spread by ticks into rats and went on from there. And finding out what all it did to the animals versus the people, I think could be a good jumping off point. But here I've got the infected, which are slower moving than the rest of them. Runners, growlers, cagers, climbers, and the last one is spitters, because I remember wanting to name it something different, because spitters reminds me way too much of Left 4 Dead, which is a game that I love, by the way. It's nothing against Left 4 Dead. But they're different because these guys try to spit their blood into a person's mouth to infect them. But I want to name them something different, and I remember that being a thing that I wanted to do way back then too, but I didn't know what the hell to call them besides spitters, because that's what they do. And it's not a huge deal if I can't find a different name for them, because they're just names that the people are calling them. So truthfully, amongst all of the people, there could be different things that they call them. There's no guarantee that, one group of people versus another group of people would call them the same thing. Save for the fact that at the beginning of the apocalypse, they would have social media and could converse with each other no matter where they are. Because you know for a fact that if the zombie apocalypse happened, the first thing people would do is go to Twitter and hashtag it and get it trending. I'm just saying. That would be the first thing they would do. The first thing I would do is lock my doors. But I'm a different type of person. But coming up with different names that people might call them based on what they do or what they look like could be helpful as well, so I'll get into that. But I'm going to transfer this onto Google Docs, so that way if I lose this notebook, it's still there somewhere. This notebook, in case you're curious, was over by the lamp at the very bottom of the stack of notebooks there. So I was correct that it might have been over there, and I'm glad that I looked. And I was correct that I wrote it on the cardboard flap of this notebook, which is indeed the notebook for The Walls Between Freedom and Fairness. Ta-da! And then I think on the inside here, yeah, I made a little thing here where I could keep track of their kill count, because the main character of this book wanted to do everything but kill them, so he was keeping track because it haunted him, and keeping track was about the only thing that made him feel human. Of course, I didn't get very far in that book, so there's no numbers here. But now that I have this list, I can make some progress on the zombie stuff, and I can make some progress on the research for that. also, here for day 7, I'm actually circling through all of my books today. Yesterday I jumped off of Letters from Madman. Things were going way too slow. It took me like 10, 11, 12 hours, I don't even remember, it was a long time, to write like 1,000 words in Letters from Madman, which for me is slow on a good day, but for you or anyone else, it could be completely normal. That could be an excellent day. Everybody writes at a different pace. I'm not word shaming anyone or pace shaming anyone. We all just write at different speeds, and we all are used to different things. Writing is my career, freelance editing is my career, and doing this video thing, even though I'm not making money off of that actively right now, is also my career. So I have more time to focus towards writing, and because it's my career, I also have worked to focus more on my accomplishments throughout the day and my progress throughout the day as word counts, rather than just how much I accomplish in a month or a year or anything like that, just because that's the way I've always been. But that's just my tidbit for the day. I'm not saying that that has to be your daily word count. I'm not saying that has to be your progress. Everybody writes differently, so it's slow for me on a good day. And yesterday was a good day. I wasn't in a ton of pain. I've had a really bad eczema flare-up here on my wrist, which is what this is. I just found out about wet wrapping, which is when you put a wet layer of gauze beneath the dry layer here, and after you've moisturized under all of that, it keeps the moisture contained. It helps stop the itching, which is great, because beforehand when I was trying to write, all of my brain's focus was on, wow, my wrist itches, and wow, that hurts, and wow, that's the driest spot I've ever felt in my life. And doing this has helped drastically on that spot. It's only right here. It's literally nowhere else on my hands right now. But besides the eczema flare-up, I was having a pretty good day yesterday. I wasn't in a ton of pain. Obviously my knuckles were stiff. My knuckles hurt, but they always do. Pretty used to that at this point. And I'm having a lot of shoulder and back pain right now, no matter what I do to fix it. But I'm used to that as well. That's been a thing in my life for quite some time now. But overall I was having a good day. My focus was pretty focused. My concentration was pretty good. My memory wasn't all over the place from anxiety or thyroid related things. I was having a pretty good day, and things were still ungodly slow on Letters from Madman. So I was like, okay, fine, I'm caving, I will switch books. Cranked out 300 words in The Gang War, which is a Bo Austin book, not CampNaNo related, in under 5 minutes, and cranked out 700 words in Thundering Hooves in under 15 minutes, I think. Something like that. Which was great in comparison to Letters from a Madman, and is much closer to my normal speed. So the thing that's been slowing me down on Letters from Madman isn't the fact that it's a rewrite, isn't the fact that I'm rewriting new stuff, isn't the fact that it's related to characters that, besides this rewrite, I haven't written in quite some time. It's 100% because I was focusing on one book. And although I like idolize people who can focus on one book at a time, I physically can't, obviously. So it was because I was forcing myself to only write in this one book, and it was slowly driving me to the brink of insanity. And my brain was basically protesting by giving me absolutely nothing until I switched books. So I did, and things are going great elsewhere. So today I'm actually going to get to work on TE, Books and Badges, Abduction of the Jensens, the Hearts and Roses notes, and is there another one? I don't remember. I'll look later, but I don't know. But either way, I'm going to get to circle through all of those today, which is great, because I get to make progress in the books that I want to finish before Nano starts, and I just get to take a little bit of time away from Letters from Madman for a little bit and make some progress, which is great. I love progress, so I'm very happy that I made that decision, and I feel pretty damn good about it. And yes, I'm still behind on Letters from Madman. Yes, I'm running a week late at this point, but I would rather not burn myself out by focusing on the one book that needs to be done completely before the end of the year, then continue to force myself to work on it. So it's a good decision overall. But I'm going to work through all of my books today, non-CampNaNo and CampNaNo related. I'm going to go through a little bit more of Hearts and Roses today, and I'm going to move those zombie notes over to a Google Docs today. And I think those are the only things that I have going on that are CampNaNo related, but otherwise, I'm just going to go back to cycling through my books and potentially doing a little bit of gaming, and maybe some video editing if Google Photos ever stops processing my videos. But we'll see. So that is all that I have for day 7 of CampNaNo Prep. If you're doing CampNaNo, this is week 1 here of prep time. I hope things are going well for you. I hope you have an idea of what you're doing, and if you're plotting, I hope that's going well. If you're researching, hope that's going well. And if you're like me and a pantser, I hope your month is going great. Because I know sometimes it can be a little chaotic when everyone else is doing a prep month and you are sitting there not knowing what the hell you're supposed to do, and then just waiting for the first of the actual month to start on it. I know that can be stressful, but that's okay. We're all here to get each other through it. But regardless of what you're doing this month, and regardless of what you're doing next month, I hope this is going well, and I hope that goes well. But all of that being said, that is all that I have for day 7 of CampNaNo Prep. If you enjoyed this video, a like is always appreciated, and if you'd like to stay updated on my writing, my editing, the gaming videos I upload roughly for Friday, CampNaNo, or anything that I do on this channel in between, feel free to subscribe. All the links to my authors pages, as well as links to my social media, are in the description down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.